Welcome into the world of winningbusiness.com, where we talk about successful entrepreneurship, where one winning idea takes you to a successful winning business. Today we are going to take you through a journey of 3 entrepreneurs who came together out of their B schools, out of their prestigious IIMs, got into their comfortable corporate jobs, later sacrificed their corporate jobs, followed their dreams, got themselves backed by a venture capitalist fund, and then took that journey and made it a big business model. We are talking about CMYK Health Boutique Private Limited. So we have with us one of the co-founders, Mr. Sunil Rao, who is going to take us through this journey that they went through and made it in a winning business. Mr. Sunil Rao.
Hello.
Hello. So take us through the journey, sir, how this idea came up and how you 3 of you got together and how the venture fund supported you and how you faced the various challenges and became into such a big enterprise.
Sure. Ours is the story of 3 working professionals who loved a massage more than we could afford to. The year was 2007. There were 3 of us, Anurag, Saurabh and I, who had completed our MBAs from IIM Ahmedabad and SP Jain. And after that, we were working with multinationals like Hindustan Lever, the Tata Group and KPMG Consulting. 3 years into our jobs, we've been traveling very frequently, staying at all these hotels as part of our jobs. And at the end of a long working day, we'd return back to the hotel, really tired, looking forward to a relaxing massage. But we discovered that the prices there were so exorbitant that we could never really afford to do that regularly, despite being in reasonably well-paid jobs. That sort of common experience provided us the inspiration to start an affordable chain of spas that more working professionals like us could visit regularly. So with this sort of a plan, we created a detailed business plan, and we approached several venture capital funds. And finally, we found a backing in Fulcrum, which is a private equity fund based in Chennai. They have several healthcare investments, and they backed us up. So armed with that funding, we started 2 locations in Pune in 2007 on an experimental basis. And post the success of that, we started expanding this across locations. Today, we have 28 spas that are located in 6 cities of India. And Four Fountains De-Stress Spa is now one of the largest chains of affordable spas in the country. Besides Four Fountains, over the last 10 years, it's been a 10-year journey now, we have also diversified into other businesses and become a complete health and wellness management company.
Can you tell us more about the entire brand portfolio that you have?
Sure. So as part of CMYK Health Boutique, we have 5 different brands. So there is Four Fountains De-Stress Spa, which is India's largest chain of affordable spas. We have New Ayurveda Clinic, which is a chain of Ayurvedic clinics that treats diseases that modern medicine cannot cure. We have Power Spa, which is an events company that does mobile spa services. We have 2 product brands. We've recently got into retailing of products. So we've got 2 product brands, Four Fountains Labs, which is a brand of nutraceuticals. And there is My Daily, which is a perfectly engineered meal replacement shake. So these are the set of brands that we have in our portfolio, all of which sit in the health and wellness spectrum, starting from care going up to cure.
As an entrepreneur, there are a lot of challenges. What were the challenges in the initial phases for you to really come up and ensure that this business has stood its ground?
Sure. There were broadly 2 sets of challenges, one on the professional front and one on the personal front. I'll talk about the professional challenges first. Firstly, in the year 2007, nobody knew what spas were. So one of the biggest challenges for us was to educate our consumers about why go to a spa, and to clear several misconceptions about spas that existed at that point in time. So there were problems of availability. People didn't know where to go to a spa. Second, they didn't know what a spa is. What benefits can they get out of going to a spa? It was broadly promoted as something that's done only for pampering and not for health reasons. Thirdly, people had concerns about professionalism because there were several stories doing the rounds of raids at spas and massage parlors, so people were confusing spas with massage parlors. Then there was the problem of affordability. People had this perception that spas would only be expensive. So these kind of barriers had to be fought to get consumers educated about why go to a spa in the first place. That was our biggest challenge. So marketing was a challenge, you could say. The second big challenge that we had on the professional front was getting trained manpower. This industry depends on excellent quality manpower to deliver standardized services. But in the year 2007, you never really knew where to recruit a trained spa therapist from. So what we had to do was to create our own training academy from day one, which has been one of our best decisions at that point in time, because we now are able to train our own spa therapists. We put them through a 2-month-long rigorous training schedule. We conduct our own assessments and certification, after which people are allowed to practice at the spa. So these were two big challenges. A third challenge as a startup that we face, and I think a lot of startups face this, is getting our initial team, because there is no credibility, the startup has not yet made its name. So recruiting the first set of team members was always a challenge. We in fact even remember having to speak to parents of prospective candidates to convince them about the professional backgrounds with which we are starting this off. So these were some of the initial professional challenges. There was also a bit of challenge on the funding front, because this is an asset intensive business, so typical angel investors don't really put in a lot of capital behind asset heavy businesses. So raising funds initially was a challenge. Convincing people that affordable spas as a concept would work was a challenge. So that's on the professional side. On the personal side, again, there were a few common challenges that the three of us faced. First was the fact that we were letting go of secure jobs, secure well-paying jobs, and taking the risk of entering into the unknown and not knowing where your next salary would come from. So that was a big risk we were taking. However, I think because we started off relatively early, we were perhaps at that point of time a lot less worried about the risk, because we always knew that we would do something given the backgrounds that we came from. The second personal challenge was the amount of time that we had to put in. We had very little time the initial few years to give to our families, because we were so devoted to this that the first 3 years we all of us stepped out of our homes, relocated to Pune, which is where we started our first set of spas, and lived there. We lived this life 24/7. So I think that was the second personal challenge, which is not being able to see our families for long periods of time.
So what would be the initial capital that you have as promoters put inside this business,
right,
before the fund could also come in?
Sure. Since we were starting this business, just 3 years into our jobs, this venture was 100% funded by the VC who had backed us, which is Fulcrum Ventures, and we did not have to put in any capital at that point in time.
So when we're talking about affordability, and we're talking about very specialized talent that you would need to hire, how does the business model work?
Sure. So this entire business model is premised on 3 things. First is the fact that we are promoting spa therapies as things that you need to do for your health. So the need is created based on the fact that this is a health related service. Secondly, the fact that it is affordable means that it is something you can do regularly, because spas as a business thrive on repeat visits. So until and unless it is something that is affordable, most consumers will not really visit often. Anyway, it's an underpenetrated category. So affordability is the second leg. The third leg is professionalism. Once again, to attract a set of consumers who normally are skeptical about what spas and massages can deliver, it was important that we deliver this strong message of being professional, which included having trained therapists and hence having a training academy of our own, which would improve our credibility, and also formulating certain policies that would be sensitive to the Indian mindset and the Indian cultural sensibilities at that point in time. So the fact that we had same gender therapists that were being offered, the fact that each of our rooms had its own shower cubicle, although that was more capex intensive for us. These are some decisions that we took, and these 3 things form the core part of our pillar, of the entire business model. So educating people about scientific health benefits, the affordability part of it, and the professionalism side of things. In terms of expansion, we went about two different models. So we had company-operated spas. We also now have franchisee-operated spas. We've done a mix of day spas, which are spas located in residential neighborhoods. We have spas that we experimented with in hotels. So I think these were different models that we tried out during our early days, and the model has evolved significantly since then.
So right now, how many company-owned spas are in operation and how many are franchises?
Of the 28 spas that we have, 11 are company operated and 17 are franchisee operated.
And can you take us highlight more on the other brand verticals that you have?
Sure.
The new Ayurveda.
Right. So within the services space, the second largest brand that we have is New Ayurveda Clinic, which is a chain of Ayurvedic clinics that treats diseases which modern medicine cannot cure. So the genesis of this is very interesting. When we started our spas, and 5 years into running, or in fact 7 years into this business, we had a lot of our own guests who would come to us with illnesses, and they were looking for solutions for those illnesses. But they did not find that allopathy or conventional medicine was helping them in those situations, and they were looking for alternative medicine to solve their problems. Unfortunately, at Four Fountains, they did not find those kind of solutions because Four Fountains was never designed to be a place that cures diseases. Around the same time, there was a huge resurgence in Ayurveda and the popularity of Ayurveda in India. So we took both of these factors together and we said that there is an opportunity to create a chain of credible Ayurvedic clinics which is professionally run and which can solve the problem of curing diseases. So therefore we started New Ayurveda Clinic, which now has two models. We have some standalone clinics and we have some store-in-store clinics along with Four Fountains. The second allied business that we have is that of products, and within products we have two key brands. One is Four Fountains Labs, which is a chain of which is rather a set of products that straddle the space between pharmaceuticals and FMCG. So it's somewhere in between. These are products that are designed to solve stress related problems, but they do not require prescription. At the same time, they are not your conventional off-the-shelf FMCG products. So it's a very interesting space today that's occupied largely by imported products. So we feel that with this we are bringing into India something that's not really very big at this point in time. The other product brand that we have is called My Daily. It's a perfectly engineered meal replacement shake. So today there are a lot of people who skip meals, whether it's breakfast, whether it's lunch or dinner, simply because they're busy with work. They're running around from one meeting to the other, and they're eating junk. So these two problems lead to a lot of weight gain. We said, how about designing a product that is engineered to meet the recommended dietary allowance as per the Indian Council of Medical Research, but at the same time something that's very quick and easy to consume, which is something that's convenient for you to have on the go. So we've designed My Daily, which is a shake that can be prepared in 2 minutes, and which, if it is consumed, has the perfect mix of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals, as well as fiber that keeps you full. So this is again an innovation which is new to India, and we are promoting this product called My Daily as well. And then we have another brand called Power Spa. So what Power Spa does is to provide mobile spas or spa on location for events. So there are many weddings that are looking for spa services to be provided to their guests. There are many corporates that are organizing events or conferences, or even brands that are doing activations in malls where they require spa services to be provided as part of their event. So Power Spa provides mobile spa services. So that's our entire portfolio of companies for you.
So what can we talk about your current numbers?
Sure. So today we have a total of about 40 locations that we operate between the various brands. And typically, whether it's a spa, salon or a clinic, we target doing about 1 crore per location per annum, sort of a number. And we expect that there will be some organic same-store growths in each of these locations. But more importantly, the growth will also come from expanding these number of locations from 40, taking it up to 100 over the next 5 years.
Okay, but when we're talking about per location, we're talking about all the food brands in that particular location.
Right. So per typically the each unit, so we have different configurations. So we have some which are standalone spas. There are some which are spa and new Ayurveda clinic put together. And in some cases, along with both of these, we also retail our products from there. So this is sort of an average number that we are looking at for different formats put together.
So in terms of market share, because you have 4 different spas, different market share.
Sure.
And Ayurveda clinic has a different market share.
Right.
So is your products that you have, which is very a niche in itself,
Sure.
and has its own market share. So where are we in terms of the overall market share?
Right.
Because you have carved a niche with all of that put together. So there could be maybe you are the only player in the country who have got into this 4 segmentation.
Sure.
So what are we talking in terms of market share currently?
So, incidentally, for this industry, market share is not a very relevant metric because it's a very small industry, very under-penetrated industry. The larger opportunity really lies in growing the category itself. So, by some estimates, the spa industry is about 2,000 crores. In this, I'm including certain Ayurvedic clinics that also function as spas, and we perhaps be occupying just about 2 to 3% of that at best. However, because this is a very fragmented market as well, with many
It's also
standalone operators.
More unorganized.
Very unorganized, and there are different formats. Again, there are some hotel spas, there are resorts, there are airport spas, there are day spas, there are these kind of Ayurvedic standalone centers. So it's very hard to put a number to what the market is made up of. But our estimate is that we'll be making up about 2 to 3% of this market. The bigger play really is to grow this market itself, because the penetration of spas, for instance, in the country is less than 1%, and to take that up, get more consumers into the fold, is really what all the players are focusing on today.
So what about the products segmentation? So what could be your market share in that segment?
Well, this within the meal replacement segment, that meal replacement segment itself is very small, but we probably be already about 10 to 15% of that segment. Again, a very, very fast growing segment, but very small at this point in time. Nutraceuticals again is very dispersed, so there are no standard numbers available. However, again, our guesstimate would be that we probably form about 5% or so of that market.
So if we take all these segments that you are present in, so what could be the overall market share that you are present in?
I think we would probably be about 3% of all these put together.
And the industry size of what you are present in could be about?
We'd probably say that will be close to maybe 5,000 crores at this point in time.
So where do we go ahead from here? Is there anything on the digitalization front? What is your thoughts on expansion?
Sure. Firstly, on expansion, we see that there are multiple opportunities to grow. We have firstly New Ayurveda clinic, which is going to be taken to more locations of 4 fountains. So today we have 28 4 fountains locations, of which New Ayurveda is present only in 7. So we think that taking New Ayurveda to more 4 fountains locations itself, co-locating, is one source of growth that we have. Second is growing this number of 28 to 100 itself over the next 5 years is the second big avenue of growth for us. Thirdly, retailing of products. We've only initiated this very, very recently. It's less than 6 months to 7 months old. So taking the share of retail products sold from each location up significantly is going to be the third source of growth for us. Fourthly, we are evaluating going deeper in the space of skincare, because we are already a scientific oriented brand that's focused on health benefits, and the skin segment is a very, very under-penetrated segment. So we see ourselves going deeper into that space in the services as well as product side. So I think these are the 4 areas of growth that we're really focused on.
So how many number of therapists, very specialized therapists you will have in your spas and everything?
Sure. So we would have close to 650 to 700 therapists, and apart from that we have a corporate team. So all put together we employ close to 750 people across the organization.
So coming back to the retailing, these products are available in your stores. Is there a distribution plan? Is this going to be available in the maybe your chemist or something like that?
Sure. We, at this point in time, as you mentioned rightly, retail is largely from our spas and clinics. We also have a website through which we retail these products. The third channel that we are using at this point is marketplaces like Amazon or Flipkart. We do see at some point in time going offline. However, within offline, we would probably be restricted to the modern retail stores, because these products require a lot of involved explanation, which is best done in an environment such as modern retail. As the category evolves, perhaps 5 years down the line, that's when we will have to start distributing this through more general trade and chemist channels. But initially, the distribution will be very restricted offline.
What is your plan for the next 3 years? And what is your vision for next 5 years? Give us some numbers.
Right. So I'll probably state the 5-year number itself. We certainly we are aiming to be upwards of 150 crores in terms of turnover, and we'd like to be in a position to create close to 2,000 jobs, which I think is a more meaningful metric in today's day and age, because with employment being one of the key focus areas of the government, we are looking at ways in which we can partner with the skill development initiatives that the government has launched to offer more jobs, because this being we being an important part of the service industry, are fortunate enough to create jobs everywhere that we go. So we are looking to expand our model to more cities, so take it perhaps to the top 10 cities from the 6 cities that we're present in, add more locations, and per location add more jobs. So 150 crores and 2,000 jobs is what we're sort of targeting in 5 years.
So is there a plan for a public issue or something?
Not at this point in time, but I think that remains to be seen in terms of market conditions.
Are you planning to also look at any kind of M&As in the future?
We, at this point in time, we are not actively looking for any M&A opportunities. However, there are many synergies that can be developed. So we'll be open to any M&A opportunities as and when they come, and we'll evaluate them on their merits.
And what about the franchising model that you mentioned?
Right.
Are you going to take the franchising model further?
Sure. So we expect that we want to maintain a healthy mix of company-operated and franchised centers. So we think that we'll maintain this ratio. So as we grow, there will be similar ratio of company-operated and franchised locations that we will set up.
So what would be the percentage?
So roughly, as you can see, from our current numbers, about 30 to 35% are company-operated and 65% are franchised. We are probably going to maintain this kind of ratio, or even set up more company operated. Perhaps in a steady state we'll come to a 50% kind of number for each.
So what is your message for the early startups today?
Right. I think I can think of one key message. I think all of this would not have been possible without the fact that it was 3 of us that started off. So one of the key messages I'd like to share is that if you're starting up, try and see if you can do this along with co-founders rather than trying to do it yourself, because a startup can be a fairly lonely journey, and having someone with whom to brainstorm, someone who brings in complementary skills, can be very, very crucial, especially in the times which are tough and when you're looking to find solutions for problems that you're facing. I've found that being part of this team of 3 has really been helpful. So I think that would be my key message to any startup.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for your time.
So that was Mr. Sunil Rao. We will take you to more such interviews. Stay tuned in to our website and know more about many such winning businesses. A winning idea into a successful entrepreneurship. That's winningbusiness.com.